Hey everybody, Zach Butler YGO back with another January format video. This time we're going to go over the Kashtira deck I've been playing at the last few locals I've played in. I played this just before the most recent Forbidden Limited list and actually then just on the first, and I've gone undefeated every time. They've been pretty small locals, but it's still nice to see. This has been a deck that I historically haven't been the biggest fan of, but I wanted to give it a shot and see how it works, and it's been pretty solid, and I've had a lot of fun with it. Also, if you like this sort of content, let me know with a comment, like, and subscribe. And if you want to be a part of the Discord that I actually set up for the channel, go ahead and join that. The link will be in the description or on my socials. When you join, you can talk about like decks, different games, you know, Duel Links, Master Duel, things like that. The TCG, you can get help, you can do duels, all that kind of stuff. We're gonna have like watch parties and stuff when events happen and all that too. Lots of cool stuff happening. It's just a nice little place to be a part of the community. But anyways, let me go right into the deck. First, we're gonna start off with the engine, of course. You've got 3 Kashtira Fenrir, 3 Kashtira Unicorn, 3 Kashtira Rise Heart. This is one that I'm actually a really big fan of because of its level being 4 specifically. The cool thing is that if you need to play like Abyss Dweller or Baguska into the format, you can absolutely do that because you can just normal summon Rise Heart, special summon 1, and then overlay those 2. That's come up a few times. Also, just being able to go like Unicorn, grab Theosis, summon Scareclaw, and then normal summon Rise Heart, special summon another one. That's come up a couple times too, just for game pushes. One of the things I've found with this deck is that I don't want to play into Nibiru like almost ever. It's basically playing a lot like Gadgets if you played back in like 07. Long time ago, I know, but basically I'm just looking to use my cards as like an advantage engine and win out through grind games like that. But the 3 Rise Heart has been really beneficial for that, setting up Theosis loops and things like that. And then for the last Kashtira monsters, we have 1 Tearlaments Kashtira, 1 Scareclaw Kashtira, and 1 Kashtira Ogre. I do actually like playing all 3 of these. I think they're very good in their own ways. Kashtira Ogre giving you free information on the opponent's deck. And then you can also sculpt your plays depending on their draw, because you're going to be dictating if they draw that top card. And if they don't, then you, if you banish the top card, you know the next 4 cards in rotation as well. Kashtira, or Tearlaments Kashtira, letting you also continue to dismantle their deck between Rise Heart banishing 3 and then Tearlaments Kashtira milling 3 is really good. Or you can even set up your own graveyard, which is obviously really good. It's also just another attribute, which is surprisingly useful. That extra 100 points from the pressured planet does come up. So that is important as well, because you don't always have access to Ogre. Ogre being the worst one, because it only searches up. I only play the 1 trap, but I did consider playing, what's the card? Kashtira Preparations as well. But that's it for the Kashtira monsters. For the spells, you have 3 Pressure Planet Raitsoth, of course, to search out all your names, as well as Terraforming. And then 3 Kashtira Theosis, as well as 3 Kashtira Birth. I think that's pretty normal. I don't think there's really anything to discuss there. I think you kind of just need to max out on all of these. They're all just insane. Offers you a lot of utility in each one. And then I played 3 Pot of Prosperity. This is a deck I think that Prosperity really shines in because of the way that your engine is set up and the way that your non-engine is set up, which you'll see in a moment. Prosperity really gets a lot of agency there, and also, you know, obviously being able to see your side deck is very good. And then 1 Kashtira Preparations. I like this card a lot. I like setting up this card a lot with the Kashtira Rise Heart, Rise Heart, Tearlaments Kashtira, as well as Scareclaw Kashtira. I think all offer that card a lot of agency in each game, making it a lot more useful than it would otherwise be. And with Labyrinth being so popular, its actual effect to look at your opponent's hand and banish a card does come up much more often than I thought it might. Then for the hand traps, I'm playing 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. It's just kind of, you know, like the catch-all. 3 Dimension Shifter. This is initially the reason I wanted to play the deck. Dimension Shifter is really strong right now against Labyrinth. Obviously, it stops them from looping. Against Fire King, it can shut down all their plays. Against Vanadium, it can stop them from having any grind game at all, because you can also prevent Visa's Starfrost and Samsara from going to the graveyard, which is really important to stop the contact fusion. So this was kind of the main reason I wanted to play it. I've been a big fan of Shifter lately against kind of all the top decks. Then the last hand trap I played was the 3 Infinite Impermanence. I don't think that one really warrants too much discussion, but, you know, it's just like the general 9. Then for the non-engine that maybe isn't so standard is 2 Triple Tactics Talent. I think Talents is a lot stronger right now than it's often given credit for due to the prevalence of hand traps, as well as, you know, being able to take your opponent's Fenrir if you summon a monster and activate its effect. That comes up a lot. Being able to draw 2 additional cards if they stop one of your search effects and you don't have Prosperity, that can be really important. Just kind of things like that all add up. And this card being so flexible is one of the reasons why I like it a lot. Then you've got 2 Super Polys. So the reason for 2 Super Polys is that this is between these and the Call by the Grave. These are actually the last 5 non-engines, so it gives you 14, which gives you a very solid percent to open up with 2 in your opening hand. But I wanted 5 like board breaker, or well, 4 board breakers and 1 just bomb because of Fire Kings and Drolls and things like that. But Super Poly in particular is very good. It helps to break the board of the Fire King deck without destroying them, which is really important. It's also good into Monodium, it's good into Kashtira, and it's good into Lab. There's no matchup where Super Poly is truly bad right now of any deck that's worth playing. So I think it gets a lot of value there. And also, if you do find that it's not worth playing, you can always just side it out, games 2 and 3, and then play, you can just banish your Super Poly targets off of Prosperity, so those slots aren't as wasted as they otherwise might be in other strategies. Then for the extra deck, for the Super Poly targets, I play Mud Dragon the Swamp, Garura, Wings of Resonant Life, and Guilty Gear Freed, the Magical Steel Knight. I was thinking about playing the Draco Quist, but I opted out of that. Just wanted to go with these 3. I felt like these kind of covered all the bases. Against any deck that, you know, sets up Bear and SP, this is obviously very good. Against mono type decks, this is obviously very good. And then against anything that's mono attribute, this obviously shines as well. So all 3 of these cards tend to be live more often than not. And if ever they're not live in a specific matchup, or you don't see the matchup going the direction where you would need to make them, you can always just banish them off of Prosperity, which is obviously very good. Then I play 1 Baronne de Fleur. This card actually came up a lot more than I thought it would in simplified game states. More than anything was just to normal summon an Ash Blossom and then synchro with like a Fenrir or something. It's one of those cards though that I could definitely see cutting, but I like having it there as just like as an option. Then I'm playing 2 rank 4s. I'm playing Baguska and Abyss Dweller. Again, I wanted to maximize the like the utility of the Rise Hearts, so these give it the ability to be level 4 or 7 and be useful. Abyss Dweller is obviously insane against Fire King, and Baguska is a good way to slow the game down enough if it doesn't work out, like your opening hands doesn't work out too well, to maybe get an extra turn. Which is really all you need in this deck, because you can just end games very quickly. Then I play 1 Dark Armed, just 1 Shangri-Ira. This was a decision that I was really on the fence about. I've been a pretty firm believer that you need at least 2, but I've actually found that I don't make it nearly as often as I used to. Obviously, with no Arise Heart, it doesn't have the instant rank up access, but it is still able to be useful in some scenarios. It's kind of just like a throwaway rank 7, and if you have planned it, obviously it's really good. I found in my last tournament, actually the one right after the Forbidden Unlimited list, that I made it a lot more than I used to. So it might be just that I wasn't seeing the lines to make it properly. Only time will tell. And then utility rank 7s. You've got these 4. You've got Mecha Phantom Beast Dracosack, number 11 Big Eye, number 74 Master Blades, and Red Eye's Flare Metal Dragon. Don't think I need to talk about number 11 or Flare Metal, so we'll get those 2 out of the way. Dracosack is obviously very good into the Labyrinth matchup, but it's also surprisingly good into Fire King. If you can force out their interactions and then get to the point where they have the field spell and they've used a bunch of their recursion effects, you can just tribute and pop the field spell and then clear their board. Does come up. It's also just another like kind of throwaway rank 7. But number 74, Master of Blades, is the one that I like a lot. with cards like Veiler, Imperm being so popular. This card gets a lot of value there, but it's also the rank 7 you can throw away the fastest just to go into a Zeus or whatever. But I do like this card for like those kind of niche scenarios. Also, if you know that you're going to play into a matchup where there's a lot of targeting effects, it gets a lot better. And then I played Zeus, Typhon, and SP Little Knights. SP is honestly the least made card in the extra deck. You could reasonably cut it for a second Zeus if you're trying to play this deck and you don't have a Little Knight. That's completely reasonable. These two are the most cuttable. They don't come up as often, but I do like having them there. And obviously, if you do have them, you should play them. But all three, these are actually the 3 least made cards in general. I think I've only made each of them 1 or 2 times in all the games I've played. And then the side deck is really up in the air, but I've sided 3 Ghost Bell, mostly for Labyrinth. It is also useful into Fire Kings, though. If you know that they have a Garunix in graveyard, you can Bell the Garunix. It's one of the few cards that actually can stop the Garunix in the damage step, which is important. Then you have 2 Lava Golems. I cut the 3rd one for the 2nd Pankratops, just to have the 2 level 7s, because this is obviously better because it's level 7. But Pankratops is kind of up in the air. Lava Golem is up in the air even, actually. Like, most of these cards are pretty, like, it depends on the direction of the format and like the local that you're playing at, the area you're playing. So there's that. But all these cards were very good. I cited 2 Cosmic Cyclone and Harpy's Feather Duster as well, mostly for back row matchups. But Cosmic Cyclone does gain a lot of points for Runic being so popular, as well as the Fire King deck being so popular. It's one of the few cards that can stop them as like a quick effect, and then you can also just banish, you know, like the it's one of the few cards that like you can play that doesn't prevent or doesn't get prevented by Sanctuary, because originally these were Lightning Storms, but I found that if this is Lightning Storm and then I activate this and they have a fire to pop, they'll just pop the fire with Sanctuary, save the Fire King Island, and then I'm in just as bad of position. And then I cited 3 Solemn Judgments and 2 Anti-Spell Fragrance. Anti-Spell can be anything, honestly. This slot has never come up. Solemn Judgment has been very good. You lack hard negations, and you do need those games 2 and 3 when you're going to be playing into having your board broken. It does come up where, you know, evenly matched Lightning Storm, Harpy's Feather Duster, Dark Ruler No More. Like, these kinds of cards will exist. So having this is obviously very good. But yeah, that's the deck. Like I said, if you guys want to talk about anything like that, go ahead and join the Discord. If you want to pick up any of the cards you saw in this deck profile, go ahead and use the affiliate link found in the description below. And until next time, have a wonderful day.